All right, welcome back to Van to EDC, guys. This is a knife that I have been in a way been looking forward to for I don't know 6 months in some regards. Um, yeah, we're just gonna open it. I mean, I'm gonna put the name in the title, so it's not gonna be a surprise. But we're just gonna open it and get right to it. Gonna open it with my Wii Hyphen, which is kind of currently the nicest. I guess it's like the most expensive, kind of more fancy-ish knife that I carry on a somewhat regular basis. Hiding the packaging so that you can't see the details. But anyway, blah blah blah. So yeah, you can see here, Tactile Knife Co. Rockwall thumb stud, Sagaiha engraved titanium. So in case you didn't know, this is an exclusive with Urban EDC Supply, the website. And yeah, I'll get more into that in a second. But yeah, you can see the label here. We're here for the knife. So blah, blah, blah. And oh my gosh, that's amazing. Dude, that is a thing of true beauty. I haven't even touched it yet, really. And goodness gracious, even better than pictures. Wow. Goodness. Pardon me if it sounds like I am having a moment. Because I am having a moment. Goodness gracious, that is nice. Huh. Wow. It's got, just right off the bat, okay, we'll get into this more later. I got this version in particular because of this milling pattern. But aside from that, it's got kind of I guess it's maybe a lightly tumbled like finish to the scales. Yeah, man. And it actually feels heavier than I was expecting, believe it or not. I think this thing is supposed to be like I can't remember, 2 point something ounces. I haven't written it down somewhere. It's under 3 ounces, which is, again, one of the reasons why I got this. But anyway, so yeah, overall, this is focusing. I hope this is focusing for y'all. Get this out of the way. Get all this out of the way. Yeah, okay. Wow. This is... Let's see. Please focus, please focus, please focus. Yeah, I don't know if this is gonna want to focus well for you guys, but you can see these. So this is called Sagaiha, which apparently means like waves in Japanese. You can see the pattern here. The overall quality on this particular sample that I have in my hands feels nice. It's got a nice tackiness to it. Yeah, it's not like a sharp. The ridges on the waves are not sharp, but you do feel them for what that's worth. So yeah, that's nice. I'm not seeing any like nicks, machining imperfections. Maybe no, that was just a little piece of foam right there. Let's see, what else are we looking at here? The centering on it, the centering on it looks good from my angle. Let's see if I can get the good perspective on the camera. Sorry, it really just doesn't want to focus, but centering looks good. Yeah. Well, why don't we go ahead and let's open this for the first time. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm a fan of that. I am a fan of that. Let's take a look at the blade here. So let's see. Looks like it's got some sort of maybe light residue of some sort. So I think it's like a tumbled finish on this blade in particular. Just like I've seen a lot of videos of this knife, but I've never seen it in person, like any version of it. So this is my first time seeing a Rockwall in person. And yeah, I don't know. I guess it's just something that I've seen so many videos and pictures of, but seeing it in person, just in general, I mean, even ignore the exclusive milling for this particular iteration. Uh-oh, am I seeing? Oh, I thought for a second I may have seen. I was worried. Is that? Hopefully that edge is good. I thought I may have seen like a little little fold on the edge there. Anyway, yeah, it's a good size. I kind of like that it's kind of tumbled lightly, rather than being like, I definitely don't think it would look as good if it had like a satin finish, like a belt satin finish. So, yeah, but let's, oh yeah. And that is nice. Oh, can I get the reverse flick? Ooh, that's a really satisfying flick. Like it makes more noise, I guess. Like it's a little more resonant than I expected. It's pretty. It was definitely easier, at least at first, with the thumb flick, and then with the reverse flick, it's not bad at all. The thumb stud just protrudes very little. As you can kind of see, like you're not like you have to get into this slope here rather than having it kind of have a greater width than the scales themselves. So it's not impossible, but you definitely have to like make sure you're kind of pressing in rather than just lazily focusing on it. But man, that is, and I mean that also. So this is a liner lock, as you can see there, not a frame lock. That was another one of the many things that appealed to me about this design. I don't love the concept of titanium frame locks just because it's easier to kind of like impede the what do you call it, the opening and closing of the knife if you're not paying attention to your grip. So I like that this is a titanium liner lock. That's not to say that I'm 100% against titanium frame locks, but I just, in concept, I like titanium liner locks better. But yeah, man, this is a very, more than, I wasn't really expecting the action and like the actual action of opening the knife, like flicking the knife open, to be as satisfying as it is. This is great. Oh gosh. Yeah, so the reverse flick takes a little more. I'm probably gonna have to, it's gonna take a minute to get used to that. But the nice thing is, as soon as you trigger it, like it's not failing. It's not kind of like, it's not catching really anywhere. Man, I just have to stop because like this is one of those instances of like, in some ways, this knife design and then this particular exclusive, but more so the design itself, is something that I've like been looking forward to for so long. And, you know, I'm the type of person, the cynic in me is always like, well, don't get your hopes too high because inevitably you're going to be disappointed in something about it. But so far, I mean, not having used it, just having initially handled it, this goes above what I was expecting and hoping for, which is, you know, a great, pleasant surprise in a way. Yeah. So, wow. Okay. So let's see. Let's check the lock up here. Yeah, that's rock solid. No give at all. No wiggle there. The edge bevel, I think. I don't know if you'll be able to catch it. Like, I think you can catch it right here, right around here, as I manipulate this. I don't know if the bevel's uneven there or if they chipped or rolled the edge there, but it seems. Let's see, is it on this side? I can't tell, but let's see. The overall edge bevel, the uniformity of it. I mean, let's see. It's okay. It's not like perfectly uniform, but I mean, you know, not something I would complain about too much, at least, given it's a production knife. Yes, this is a MagnaCut version. I don't think they did this exclusive in anything other than MagnaCut. But as I mentioned, this is a Urban EDC supply. This is their exclusive. This is a pattern that they've done on a lot of exclusive knives that they've released with other companies. And so Yeah. I mean, for me, I wear like medium-sized gloves. I'm a pretty skinny, slender guy. Like my fingers are not porky. They're not gigantic hands to begin with. Um, and this fits in my hand great. Like I can get a full four-finger grip, no problem. I don't have to like scrunch up onto it or like really compress my fingers. I like the jimping goes this far. You see the jimping right there. Goes about to this point on the blade. That's a good place, given that there's no finger. If there was a finger choil, then I would want it further up. But yeah, man, this is great. Yeah, so I've wanted a Rockwall since I heard about it, probably 8 months ago. But there was no version that came out where I was like, I have to get that version. I knew once I found out that they were doing exclusives with different, dealers and such, I knew I could wait for one that had a very particular milling pattern. But let me go back for a second. So the reasons I wanted a Rockwall, one, all the reviews I had seen of it were that it's a great knife and you should get it. And so that was, a good kind of starting point. But I'm also not someone who's like easily swayed by like influencers who be like, oh, you need to get it, like get on the hype train. But one of the reasons is I wanted to try a knife in MagnaCut because supposedly this is the new hotness, right? So, I wanted to try a knife in MagnaCut, and thankfully there are more and more knives coming out with MagnaCut blades, but this was one of the earlier ones that was widely available at a production level. And so, yeah, that's one reason. Another reason is, and this goes into just my general preferences for knives, is this one is both slim and thin. When I say slim, just the overall width of the handle. I like knives that aren't super thick. Like this is not a thick knife by any means, but it's also not as thin as I sometimes prefer. So this is great. On top of that, I also like particularly how thin, or skinny, I should say, how skinny a knife's profile is, because especially when it comes to when I carry it. Because in reality, I'm carrying a knife more often than I'm using it. That's just the reality of my life. I don't have my knives out every second of the day doing stuff. And I wear a lot of shorts. I wear a lot of also like skinny jeans and stuff. And so this actually is a bigger factor to me than it probably is to a lot of people, but how skinny the knife is makes a big deal. So I like that it's both thin and skinny. I like the fact that this is kind of oriented towards it's a gentleman styling, you could say, not overtly tactical and it's not overly artsy either. It seems very minimalistic, which I kind of ascribe to, I guess, if you could say, like the minimalist school of aesthetics in some regards. And so I love that this is kind of a gentleman's styled knife. But okay, so going back to what I was saying about waiting, so those are all reasons why I knew I wanted a Rockwall. That and the fact that it's also like made in US for $300, at least the base model, which is like pretty impressive in my mind. And particularly it's made in Texas, which I have a personal connection to. So all that to say, those are reasons why I wanted a Rockwall, period. Now, the reason I got this Rockwall is all of this beauty right here. And man, I am really glad I was patient enough, because I feel like there were some exclusive where I was like, oh yeah, I could potentially get behind that. Like I think there's like a dragon scale version out there. Actually recently, just like last night, found out about I can't remember what they're called, like traditionalknives.com or something like that. They have like a jigged scale on that, and that actually also looks cool. But I'm glad I went with this, because to me, I like this aesthetic overall. And again, like I actually like the functionality of the milling. To me, I want the milling to be both aesthetically pleasing and very functional, and I think this hits the nail on the head. It is, yeah, it gets good tactile sensation on it, but it is let's try to see. Let's see. Please focus. Focus on the blade. Okay, well, it does not want to focus on the scales. But when I'm looking at this, the execution on this milling is precise. The spacing in between each little groove that's machined, there's like these little dots here and there. It's probably hard to tell with the lack of camera focus. But man, this is great. This is just awesome. So that's why I went with this version, the EDC, Urban EDC Supply. I think I checked their website most recently yesterday, because apparently these dropped back in like September, but I only found out about them like less than a week ago. And as soon as I found out, I literally ordered it because I was like, this is the one I've been waiting for. I didn't know it existed, and as soon as I found out it existed, I was like, that's mine. And thankfully, because it was my first time ordering from Urban EDC Supply, they have like this little, like, if it's your first order, it's like a little spin wheel of different like promotional discounts or whatever. And so I got 10% off this. And so it's like, it was originally $349, and the normal MSRP for the production generic Rockwall is $299 or $300. So this was $50 more, but I ended up getting this like shipped. There was no sales tax for $314 because of the 10% off. So I basically got this for the price of a normal Rockwall, which to me is a great deal. So yeah, man, I'm going long already, but man, talk about being a happy camper. Like, man, I'm even surprised that, ooh, there I failed it. I think there we go. I'm even surprised at how easy it is to manipulate the lock bar. That's really nice. Man, this is, I am a happy man right now. This was a good decision. Yeah, man. So, there will definitely be a review of this, like a long-term-ish, who knows, 3 months, 6 months, maybe sooner review. Depends on how much I carry this. I could definitely see myself carrying this a lot, for all the reasons that I stated: the steel, the profile, just the aesthetics of it. Yeah, and just all the anticipation that I've kind of built up into getting this particular knife. So yeah, they might still have some bronzed versions of this if you're interested. Like where it's just the scales are bronzed titanium, but they might have one left of this, the plain, as of the time I'm posting it. But even then, they might be out. So, yeah, man, this is a great knife. If you don't have a Rockwall yet, this might be the one for you. Maybe not, but this is definitely the one for me. And I know, I said I prefer black knives and black gear in general. I know they have a black DLC one, and I could have gotten it when it sold out, but I had already ordered this, and that thing is $150 more than this one just for the black DLC. And in my mind, I'm like, this knife is not worth $150 more just to have it in black. If I had unlimited resources, heck yeah. But given the fact that I don't, this is fantastic. Like, I know I'm gonna like this. Like, that's not even a question. So, man, yeah. If you come from, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so as you can tell, I mean, maybe you can't tell, but I am very excited to have this finally, and yeah, look forward for a review later, longer term review of it. So, yeah, thanks y'all.